Hey guys, so today it is 92 degrees, the real feel is 112. I do have quite a few plants I would love to get in the ground today. Ruby Slippers, she's putting on her pink color. She is looking gorgeous. But today the plan is to work in the woodland garden. I just got back from the garden center and I got quite a few plants that I want to add. I've been trying to look for some unique plants to put over there, and I think I picked up a few. Haven't really been able to find the type of plants that I want to stick over in the woodland garden, so that project has kind of been on pause. But I did pick up some heucherella from the garden center. They had a really good sale. A lot of the annuals were $1 and perennials $5. So I did get 3 of the heucherellas. I picked up 3 Astilbe. All of this for $5 a piece. And I did get another rhododendron for the woodland garden. I planted one earlier on in the season and it did not make it. So I picked up another one from Walmart. Another pink lavender kind of color. So I want to replace the dead one with this one, add some Astilbe and some heucherellas. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is where we are going to be working at today. We are going to be digging up this rhododendron, adding a new one. Probably going to stick some Astilbe over here with the heucherellas as well. I kind of want to get this area buttoned up though. I've been hesitant on what kind of plants I want to put over in this area. I haven't been really finding the unique plants that I want for this woodland garden, but I'm hoping to get in the next coming weeks, hopefully, maybe a few more plants and get this whole area sheet mulched. I do want to add a bit of detail with some rocks to the seating area so I can go ahead and focus on getting the pathway in, because we are in the middle of the woods, so I am dealing with a lot of growth of small trees and a lot of weeds, so I just want to get everything nice and buttoned up for this area. I think this winter, when I clear out spaces like this, like I did last winter, I think I'm going to focus more on creating the flower beds, covering it up with compost, and putting in the pathways versus just clearing out a large area and then trying to figure out what I want to do with it. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on this winter. But let's go ahead and dig up this rhododendron so we can get our new one in. I have no idea what happened to this. It did get plenty of water, and I also fertilized it before I put it in here. I don't know, the roots kind of still look good though. I don't know, maybe I'll put it in a pot and see if it comes back to life. And maybe I'm making a mistake by putting another one right in the same exact spot, but we're gonna try it out anyways. It only cost me 15 bucks for this one, so not too worried about it, but hopefully this one thrives. Gonna have to drag the hose out here to give it a bit more water. I did have it soaking in a pot, so the root wall is drenched in water. But I'm just hoping that this one survives. Just trying to get a bit more evergreen interest over here for the winter time. Alright, the rhododendron is in. Now we are going to plant the heucherellas. Rhododendron is in. I did go ahead and throw some compost over here and I gave it a drink of water. Now we are going to plant the heucherellas. I think I like them right here in a trio in this spot. I think I'm gonna go ahead and plant these here, and I'm not exactly sure what is going on with the rainforest sunrise hostas on this side of the pathway. It looks like something ate the top of the leaves, but they didn't touch the ones on this side of the pathway. This side is doing good. One of them is about ready to bloom over there. Not exactly sure what went on with the ones over here, but Walmart does have the Rainforest Sunrise hostas on clearance for $2 a piece. And I did go ahead and pick up a few more because I'm thinking in the wintertime with this whole hosta little hedge right here that I am going to curve it around into this area right here. Eventually there will be some kind of gate, because I would love to have a little cabin over between those two large trees right there where I can use it to write and I guess kind of be creative, like a little she shed. But that is a long way from what's going on right now, but let's go ahead and get the heucherellas in the ground. This is soaked in water, so I'm not going to water it just yet. We are expecting thunderstorms tonight, but I am going to give these guys another drink of water. But the root balls have been soaked. I'm not going to pull the hose down just yet. Maybe when it cools down a bit, I'll come out here in the evening if it hasn't rained yet and give them another good drink of water. But for the most part, the root balls are really soaked. Bit of roots. Once again, we are in the middle of the woods. Essentially, I'm trying to turn this whole entire property into a garden. So, because we are in the middle of the woods, I do deal with a lot of roots when planting. This root ball has been soaked as well. All of them are pretty saturated with water, but it does feel like it's 112, even though it's 92. So I do need to make sure all these newly planted plants get more water. And our last one. Probably gonna try to move this one over a bit because I am planting under this redbud tree. So there are quite a bit of roots over here. It's a large one right there. So I'm just going to see if I can get it in this spot. So I have one large root chop with this shovel, and then if I can get it near a spot, I can plant this heucherella right over here. Yep, fits just fine. Heucherellas are in. I think I'm gonna plant the Astilbe right in this area right here, because in the bed behind me, all of this is Astilbe that was planted, I think, late winter from bare roots. So I will eventually be surrounding this bench with white bleeding hearts. I'm going to be buying bare roots from the store. They sell them, I think, in late winter. So I have to leave quite a bit of space around this bench for all of those bleeding hearts. So we are going to go ahead and tuck the Astilbe right in this area. These root balls have been soaked as well, but I am going to give everything another drink of water later on when it cools off. Hopefully we get that thunderstorm we're supposed to get. Our Astilbe is in. I do have a peony that I want to get planted that I've had down here setting just to see if I wanted it here. We are now going to go ahead and get this one in the ground. I think that's a big enough hole. Let me check out the root ball first. Yeah, let me get some water real quick. We have gotten all of our plants planted. We planted a rhododendron, which I dug up the old one. I'm not sure if it's alive or not. The roots still kind of look like they are alive, so I'm going to be potting that up somewhere just to see if it will bounce back, but I'm not exactly sure. We went ahead and replaced it with another rhododendron, so I'm hoping this one thrives. I'm going to have to keep an eye on it, make sure I keep it well watered. We planted our Foamy Bells, Pink Revolution, I believe, heucherellas. I got a trio of 3. I was going to sheet mulch, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm thinking I would love to get some lamium over in this area. And also, I want to get some rocks to add a bit of detail to this setting area. Not exactly sure what kind of rocks or pebbles I'm going to go for or what kind of color, but I am going to wait on sheet mulching until I get my rocks. But we also planted some Astilbe. These ones will be blooming pink. We have purple on the other side of the woodland garden. And we also tucked in a peony that I've had down here for quite some time. Once I figure out how I'm going to be placing the pebbles or the rocks around this bench, then I think I'm going to go ahead and sheet mulch, but also still on the lookout for lamium for this area. So hopefully I can get my hands on some of that. But I think everything turned out great today with this project. I'm going to go in the house and cool off, but before that, we did plant a few things over in the woodland garden a few weeks ago. I wanted to let you guys know the lungwort is doing great and our giant leopard plant is about to bloom. So the blooms kind of look like they are dandelions, but when they open fully, it's kind of look like a daisy. Lowe's still had, I think, 3 of these. I'm thinking I might go back and try to pick up a couple more to place around this woodland garden area, because I am eventually going to be expanding this, and I do enjoy this plant a lot, so I might pick up a few more of those. But that is going to be it for today, guys. I thank you for joining me on this project. I'm going to head in the house and try to cool off a bit. I am covered in sweat, but thank you for joining me on this project, and I hope again to see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.